Chimaev and McGregor have quite a lot in common in terms of being top UFC fighters, so the two of them joining forces seems like a no-brainer. Khamzat's coach seems to agree as well. Let's get into what we know about this and other UFC news that has been making the rounds. Chimaev, the champ. After running through his first 4 opponents in the UFC, Khamzat Chimaev quickly became one of the hottest sensations in MMA, and with a UFC 273 win over Gilbert Burns on April 9th, he could very well earn a shot at the welterweight belt. Chimaev recently partnered with Darren Till in training in Sweden, dominant in every victory so far and undefeated in 10 professional bouts. He extended an invitation to former 2-division champion Conor McGregor, who is currently recovering from a leg break suffered in his most recent defeat to Dustin Poirier. McGregor offered help to make his comeback. Chimaev tweeted recently at McGregor that if he wants to come back, they will help him and are waiting for him in their camp. Chimaev's jiu-jitsu coach, Alan Nascimento, said on this week's episode of Trocação Franca, MMA Fighting's Portuguese-language podcast, that the doors of Allstars Training Center are open for the Irish star, who currently fights out of Straight Blast Gym in Ireland. However, McGregor still hasn't responded to the invitation. But Nascimento made his sentiments clear that if McGregor was to do that, it would easily be the best thing he can do for his life as of today. He gave Till as an example, stating that he was humble enough to understand that he needs to evolve. He continued by saying it's the overall evolution in an environment where many guys will be motivating and inspiring fighters, making them boost their dedication. Till chimes in. Till said that it feels like you're starting from zero again and that he needs this. That's him being humble and recognizing that in order to continue doing what he loves, not just wanting to evolve, he thinks it's time to get some fresh air. He continued to say that if McGregor has that humility and decides to come train with them, he believes that he has a lot to add and learn as well. After losing 4 of his past 5 in the UFC, of which the past 3 fights were at middleweight, that has left Till at a crossroads in his career. Although McGregor has only won once in more than 5 years in a 40-second knockout over Donald Cerrone, that sandwich between defeats to Poirier and Khabib in the UFC was a boxing defeat to Floyd Mayweather Jr., which proved to be very lucrative, but for someone who once had both the UFC featherweight and lightweight titles, it's not impressive whatsoever. Nascimento breaks it down for us. He believes that they have a lot to offer, and are sure Conor also has a lot to teach, not only in the technical aspect of the combat sports of terms of striking, etc., but also various other aspects because he's very experienced. No one can take the fact that he's such an experienced fighter away from him. If someone's willing to understand everything he has to teach and truly listen, that person would reap great fruits from it. Like light heavyweights, Jiří Procházka and Jan Blachowicz, trading under the same roof of Alexander Gustafsson, Volkan Oezdemir, Jimmy Manua, and Ilir Latifi, the gym has welcomed many fighters who could one day meet in the UFC, like Nascimento has said. He continued on to say that great guys went there, and the doors will always be open because they knew how to come, stay, and leave. Fighters will always be welcome so long as they come with humility, because to him, if you come with pride wanting to have VIP treatment and lack humility, then you're not a piece to their puzzle. The only thing they ask is to keep your ego outside and be humble to be a piece that fits and will always be welcome in the gym. He reiterated they're waiting for Conor's decision as he hasn't responded yet, but knows that the invitation is out there. Meanwhile, finishing Chimaev's camp for his upcoming clash with Durinho in Florida, the two will continue to train together in Las Vegas. Since losing via submission to Derek Brunson in September 2021, Till has yet to book a fight. It's a match made in heaven. Having both fighters work together in conjunction has been a match made in heaven for Nascimento. He said that they have created a friendship like brotherhood that is beautiful to watch and are helping each other tremendously. He continued by saying that it is exactly what Till needed, to be close to someone that is that hungry to win and breathe new air. The mental part, not only the grappling and takedown part. He continued by saying that Till is very happy in training and seems more excited. Nascimento believes that Till is an exceptional person who is humble enough to ask and want to learn, which is hard to find in someone of this caliber. Moreover, Khamzat has a lot to learn from Till because he has a ton of experience in the UFC, and so they complement each other extraordinarily and help each other. Other UFC news. Felder thinks Chimaev still has a long way to go before he can beat Usman, as he seeks to become champion and avenge the last loss he suffered in the Octagon back in 2015. Currently, all signs are pointing towards Leon Edwards getting the next shot at Usman later this year. Retired lightweight contender and UFC color commentator Paul Felder believes it's going to take a very special kind of performance to actually take that title away from Usman. Felder said that he thinks it's going to take somebody that's just as strong as him in specific departments and somebody that's a freak grappler to beat Usman. Someone like Chimaev will truly challenge him. On April 9th, in a featured bout at UFC 273, Chimaev is currently scheduled to clash with Gilbert Burns, and that will be his biggest test to date by a rather wide margin. Felder also said he's quick to hit the pause button when it comes to his championship aspirations right now, without truly proving himself against the best welterweights in the UFC. UFC, but still recognizes the talent that Chimaev possesses. When he stepped on the scale ahead of his win over Li Jingliang at UFC 267, Chimaev did face some scrutiny, but ultimately he made the welterweight limit. In April for the fight against Burns, he'll need to do that again because his opponent is looking to stop the hype surrounding Chimaev while seeking to put himself back in title contention as well. That'll go a long way towards proving he is really a legitimate challenger to Usman's title if Chimaev is successful, but he has to get through Burns first. Felder said that Chimaev is extremely talented. However, he's got to beat some of these guys that have been working for years. Former Hall of Famer's house burns down. According to a report on TMZ, on Monday in Henderson, Nevada, UFC Hall of Famer Stephan Bonner's house was destroyed in a fire. This was confirmed on Friday when Bonner himself posted a video of himself sifting through the wreckage. In the clip, Bonner is showing the extraordinary damage caused by the fire, as well as the memorabilia that he retrieved, which included jerseys from the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, autographed by the cast, and his gloves from his famed fight with Forrest Griffin. Reportedly, Bonner's wife, Andrea, posted on Facebook that they have lost everything in the fire. A public information officer for the Henderson Fire Department released a statement to MMA Fighting on the TMZ report on Thursday, stating that the Henderson Fire Department responded to a house fire near Galleria Drive and Cadence Vista Drive on March 28th at 2:40 p.m. Flames and smoke were visible from the exterior of the home upon arrival. Moreover, HFD upgraded their response to a 2-alarm fire due to the high winds and condition of the fire. At 3:48 p.m., the fire was put out. No reports of injuries. 4 dogs, 1 juvenile, and 2 adults have been displaced. Aspinall isn't interested in an interim title. Finishing Alexander Volkov with a first-round straight armbar submission concluded this month's UFC London event with the biggest win of Aspinall's 14-fight career. Aspinall makes for a prime potential candidate to challenge for an interim title in undisputed kingpin Francis Ngannou's absence, now that he's ranked at number 6 in the division. However, the Brit says that isn't really something he's aiming for. While speaking to CBS Sports, he said that he thinks there are other people that deserve it more, like Miocic or even Jones. He says he just broke into the top 10 and isn't looking to get into this stuff yet. He gave Gon's example with how close he was to beating Ngannou. Aspinall let it be known that he wanted third-ranked Aussie brawler Tai Tuivasa for his next opponent following his Volkov victory. Though, with rumblings having started up about Tuivasa versus Miocic, Aspinall now finds himself less confident in that bout coming to fruition. Aspinall said of a fight with Tuivasa that it's nothing just yet, but had heard before that Tuivasa was in talks with Stipe to get that match. After which he heard from insiders that there's no chance of that in the near future. Aspinall says the ball is in Tuivasa's court, but he wants to fight in the UK. And that's all for now, folks, but we'll be back with more interesting videos. To stay informed about the MMA industry, keep watching our videos. Tell us what you think about Chimaev's offer to McGregor by sounding off in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe before leaving. Signing off.